Welcome to Blend's Localization Leaders series, where we interview industry leaders who are paving the way for advances in localization through their work. In this episode, I had the pleasure of speaking with Brigitte Benett. HP Indigo, a subdivision of HP Inc., specializes in manufacturing and selling digital presses for users around the world. Welcome to the Localization Leaders podcast, Brigitte. I'm so happy we could have you today. So, Brigitte, let's get into it. I'd love to hear more about you and your career path and just how you ended up in the localization industry and as a localization project manager at HP Indigo.
Hi, Corinne. So, my name is Brigitte Benett. I was born and raised in France. I study computer sciences in Israel and in France. I work first as a programmer analyst in France for IT companies, industrial companies. Then I moved to the US, where I work in Austin, Texas, and then Alameda, California. Also as this time more as a system analyst and project manager. Then back to France, this time in Sophia Antipolis, where I was leading team of technical support engineer for a B2B marketplace company. We were. I was in charge of the auction for in the customer care support center. So I was in France, and then I moved back to Israel. Now I've been working for HP Inc. in the Indigo division. I'm the localization PM for quite a while now. I think like 18 years.
Wow, amazing.
Yes, but time flies. I am the localization PM, but I have also led some innovative projects like the first mobile application for our digital presses, as well as a tablet application. And also I led a team of engineers to help reduce costs and also protect us against a black market.
Wow.
In HP Indigo, we manufacture digital press, big, huge digital presses. They cannot fit in a house. They are beautiful. And we also develop all kind of application around the digital press. So when I came back to Israel for the second time, I was looking for a company for which I really want to work. Okay, I started my career as a nerd, but I'm really a builder. I like to take projects from scratch and then turn back and look back and admire what has been done. And really, when I heard about HP Indigo, I really fell in love with their product. The presses are amazing. I mean, they're very complex, but great. We have a great quality of our product. I mean, it is of great quality.
Brigitte, that sounds really cool. I'd love to hear more about HP and what localization looks like at HP. What role does it play there, and how is your team or department structured?
Okay, so the localization at HP is considered as a core feature. All our products are released in all the languages we support at the same time. It's a sim ship. Okay. The way we decided to build the localization department is at the time at HP we had two kind of display for the localization. So one of the divisions, they have their own complete localization, globalization department with their own developer, their own translator on site, as well as abroad. They had their QA testers. I mean, the whole shebang.
Yeah.
At Indigo, we decided to have really a small core localization team. So my team is really small. I have 2 localization specialists and me as the localization PM. But we rely on a lot of different departments to support us. All these departments, like the UX department, all the engineers, the system engineers, the developers, the QA, the technical writers, they need to support us. Okay, I think that's a good decision, because even though it has some drawbacks, challenges. Okay. I think that it's good to work directly with the people who develop things.
Right.
So you don't duplicate, and also you don't have to train people. You really work directly with them, and also you teach them to think localization. And I think it's working really well. Like a lot of things, there are some drawbacks, because sometimes, as I don't manage these people, so I have to get the priority straight. I have to get the resources on time. So a lot of communication and work cross a team, which is good as well, because you end up, even so it's not always easy, you end up working with a lot of different people inside the company. So all in all, I think it was a good choice.
Yeah, I think from a lot of the amazing, talented professionals I've spoken to, people really it's a common theme to emphasize the importance of educating your colleagues, and I think localization is so dynamic anyways, so and it's good that you get to kind of put your hands in everything and so to speak, and work across teams and have them be used to the idea, and like you said, change the way they think to so that they think of localization. Yeah, sounds really great.
I remember one day I was so happy, because maybe we'll go into that, but I remember I entered a meeting and I was like, I've heard someone say, but what about the localization, and always now, I mean, always,
Wow.
very often I don't have to say anything. Someone is like, yes, but Brigitte's team with the localization, did you think about that? So for
Wow.
me, that's the best
That's
achievement,
Yeah, that's definitely a success. That's really good. That's fulfilling moment. Localization is a fairly new company role compared to, departments like marketing or R&D that are very sort of well known and established. I mean, based off of what you're saying, it seems like thankfully you have a pretty good presence at HP Indigo as the localization department. But it's often common for localization departments to struggle to gain budget and recognition of how important localization is. So, do you have any tips from your experiences for anyone looking to demonstrate the value of localization?
Okay. So as I say now, the localization is a core feature for all our products. It's really part of our DNA. It has not been like that. When I arrived, it was very, very, very difficult. The fight was tough, just because localization adds really a burden to all the, for example, you add some tasks to the UX. It has to take the localization into consideration, which is not easy for them. I understand the difficulties. System engineers, for the development as well. I mean, it really adds tasks to them. They have already to think of 1,000 details, and then on top of that, you put some limitation. Actually, I think that localization is like it's like give the temperature, like it tells if a product will be good or not, because it's like, for the Japanese people who look at all the details. If you take care of the localization, then you take care of the entire product. You are really careful, and so, but correct. It was difficult to get the localization to be part integral of the development and not just an afterthought. It's not something that you can add to it, at the last moment.
Right.
It's something that you need to plan for. So as far as work is concerned, it was like adding work to the different teams. So I was not always welcome. Also, it adds a budget. So you have to, all the different departments also have to give a piece of their budget for the localization, which is not always welcome. But I mean, with time and when you put the processes in place and all that, then people tend to adapt the idea, adapt to the idea, and also make it their own at the end. As I was saying, some people always have the localization in mind. But this being said, my work with the work of my team and the support of all the teams, because of course we need all the support from all the teams. I mean, if the QA doesn't test, if the engineer doesn't take care of all the things he needs to take care, UX as well, it won't work. I cannot oversee everything, every details. We need to have the support of upper management. Okay, this is essential. Upper management needs to understand what is on stake, and upper management needs to provide the budget for it, and need to communicate to the different managers that there is a need to support the localization. Fortunately, I had a lot of challenges, but our upper management did know our customers well. They understood that it's not possible to gain market share if you don't provide localization. So, as you might know, it's difficult to really calculate the ROI, but for sure, if you want to succeed in pre and post sales, you have to provide your products with the correct localization.
Yeah, absolutely. It was like you said, it kind of reveals issues almost. It's like a test of is the product actually ready? That's a really good point. Okay, so Bridget, in your view, what do you feel is HP's greatest localization strength?
Commitment. I think that localization it's quite an heavy task, and you don't just start it and then stop it in the middle. And no, we have the commitment of all the different players. We need their commitment. I
Mm-hmm.
need the service of all the different departments, and we have it. It's not always, easy to get the right priority and all that, but I mean, it's the same for us all, okay, in the
Yeah,
company.
yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
commitment, that means that we have the resources. We have also we develop quite a lot of processes around the localization. It took me like a year to select the correct LSP and the
Mm,
correct localization tool, especially for the UI. Also, we have the engineers developing tools for to help with the linguistic QA.
mm-hmm.
So a lot of commitment, a lot of processes being developed around the localization. We also have at the HP level a platform that was developed to support the localization project. We didn't wait for the AI buzz to start using AI. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
we have been using now for quite several years the NMT, neural machine translation.
Yeah.
So this also really help cut in turnaround time and cut cost.
Mm-hmm.
So we are always in the look for improving the process we have. This is, I think, the best present we can give to the localization commitment.
Yeah. Okay, so speaking of AI, Bridget, how does AI impact your day-to-day as a localization professional? And do you have any tips on how to use it effectively? I know you said you've been using, machine translation for a long time now.
So we are using NMT for a while now, and of course AI is everywhere.
Yeah.
I think it's an incredible tool. Can be a horrible tool as well,
Yeah.
depending on the domain. Okay, but I think in the localization domain, it's a very, very powerful tool, and we definitely need to be using it. We are actually working on preparing a process around it. I cannot really talk about it because it's
Mm-hmm.
really, really new and not yet implemented, but it will definitely help us. If the NMT is here to help us with the translation, maybe take like the English and then translate in different locales. Maybe we can
Mm-hmm.
take the output of this NMT process and then take it via LLM and then
Mm-hmm.
have it fine-tune
Right.
the result we had
Mm-hmm.
for the translation via the NNT. And so I believe it's going to be it's going to have a big impact. I think it will have an impact on our careers as well, on our job.
Yeah.
And I think it's great. I think it's great improvements. That's the kind of thing that it is tailored for.
Right. Absolutely. I think it has a lot of use cases in the localization industry, especially with translation. So, Brigitte, as an experienced localization PM, what advice would you give to someone who wants to become a localization PM? What kind of skills should they have when they're looking to become a localization PM?
I think a localization PM is first a project manager, so
Right.
needs to. I'm working a lot with a different PM as well. So we have several products. We need to be able to understand the priority of each one. So localization PM is first of all a PM. I think that also having a technical background really helped me. So even so, if today I will not program, but as a localization PM, you localize UI and also documentation and learning product. Documentation and learning product will take a big chunk of your budget, but what will take most of your time is working with the engineers. So even so you're not going to code, you need to be able to dialogue, to communicate to the engineers. There is a problem, you need to understand what is the problem, and you need to be able to suggest solutions. So I think to have a technical background helps a lot. Also, to speak not only English but another language. It's must have. Communication skills. I'm working with a lot of different people.
Yeah.
You need to know how to communicate with them. Very important. What else? Attention to details. So yes, you have to be really careful. You need to be able to look at something and identify really quickly what's wrong on the screen. So yes, a lot of focus, lots of that's the skills I will be looking for to be a good localization PM.
Yeah, I know it's quite a dynamic role, and we know that it's essential to a team. What other roles do you think make up a really strong localization team?
It's not easy to find the correct profile. It's very versatile because you work with a lot of different teams. You do a lot of different tasks. So it can be like administrative task, it can be like QA task. You have to have also some strong technical skills because you have to be able to install all kind of system, test all kind of applications. Very good communication skills. You need to have to get the support from several teams. which I think it's great because people don't do always the same repetitive task.
Right.
And even so, there are some repetitive tasks. They are in contact with so many different people.
Yeah.
Okay, I had, and also you want to have people who will remain with you at least 3 or 4 years, because the learning curve is quite long, and so it is important. I had people working for me for 8 years and then leaving, and they are still calling me, and they told me, oh, it's not so much fun as we had in the localization team, because we were in contact with so many different people. And
Yeah.
here, most of the time, we are in front of our computer by ourselves. And so it's challenging, because working with different people, it's not easy, but it's very rewarding.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of things, skills you should be looking for people who are working with the localization team. Also, of course, if they can speak very, very good English as well as foreign language, it will be a plus. Yeah.
Yeah. Keeps things interesting for sure. So, okay, great. Thank you, Bridget. I think we can move on to a few of our rapid fire questions. Okay, so what is your favorite language?
Okay. I think the language I think is the most beautiful one, apart from French, is Italian. Italian,
I also love
definitely.
Italian.
It's beautiful. After all these years, I always amazed and happy to see all the languages appearing on the screen, like Chinese, Korean, Japanese, Italian, German, French. I mean, I really enjoy it.
Yeah, it's really cool. And what would you say is your favorite localization tool?
Um, a catalyst from Alchemy. When we decided to, when I decided to include a localization tool, at the time there weren't that many. There were like 2 of them, and took me like 1 year to decide between them. And I did a lot of tests, because I know that when you take in-house a new application, it can help you, but it can also, if it's not the correct one, it can be a real burden. So I really wanted to make sure that this one is going to help us. We did lots of tests, and they were really similar. So I decided to go with my gut feelings, and I really enjoyed since day one the kind of support relationship we had with Alchemy. And sure enough, it has been like more than 15 years now.
Wow,
They still have the same
amazing.
support team. They
Amazing.
are always willing to help.
Cool. That's very cool. And where's the favorite place that you've ever traveled to?
Oof, I've traveled a lot. There are a lot of places.
Mm,
um, Maybe one in particular. I love the Philippines.
cool. Didn't make it there yet. And what would you say is your localization nightmare?
My localization nightmare is that you get to the last build before the release, and something went wrong for all kind of reasons, and it happens. Okay, and then the product gets released. It goes to the customers, and you didn't catch it on time.
Yeah.
So that's my nightmare.
That's a nightmare for sure. Oh, yeah. Well, hopefully it won't happen. But yeah, thank you so much, Brigitte, for taking the time today and speaking with me. And it was really nice to get to know you and hear more about everything that you're doing at HP Indigo.
Thank you, Corinne, and I hope I've answered your questions and I was able to help.